Hello, everybody. My name is Allie, also known as the Freckled Yogi, and today we are going to be doing a relaxing yoga practice. So if you do have any props that you would like to use, like a pillow or a block, that would be great. Blankets would work well here as well, and a bolster would be good too. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin our practice today lying down on our backs. So find your heels at the top of your mat. Sit up really nice and tall. Give your shoulders a couple rolls back, couple rolls forward. And let's go ahead and roll on down one vertebra at a time, finding your way onto your back. Once you find your way onto your back, see if you can tuck your shoulder blades a little bit further beneath your body, letting the toes flap out to the sides. And allow the eyes to close as well. Taking a second here to begin to connect with your breath. Noticing the way the inhale moves through the nose, down the back of the throat, into the lungs, and then all the way down to your belly. And as you exhale, feel how the belly falls, the chest relaxes, and the breath leaves back out through the nose. Continuing with these deep belly breaths. And imagine that each breath is growing a little fuller than the one before. So with every inhale, see if you can take in just a little extra sip of breath. And as you exhale, see if you can squeeze that belly into the back body just a little bit more. And allow your breath to return to a more natural pace. No longer forcing the air. But maybe notice that these breaths are a little bit fuller than the breaths that you would take during the rest of your day. So we're expanding our lungs just a little bit more than we regularly would. Really utilizing their full capacity. And with your next breath out, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Wrap the arms around the shins, giving those legs a good squeeze into the chest. You're welcome to keep the eyes closed, or you may blink the eyes open and find a soft gaze at the ceiling above you. With those knees nice and tight into the chest, let's go ahead and flex the feet, pulling the toes back towards the face. And then we'll go ahead and point the feet. And again, let's flex and point. Flex and point. And one more time, flex and point. Beginning to take some ankle circles, moving the feet in one direction. Think about those big toes making the circle. And then reverse those circles, really warming up the ankles. And come on back to stillness. Let's go ahead and find one hand on each knee. We're going to bring those knees in nice and tight into the chest. Then allow those knees to open out to the sides. Let the arms straighten. Pull the knees back together with the arms straight. And then let's repeat. Bring those knees back in. Let them open out to the sides. Straighten the arms. Bring the knees to touch. And let's make it a little bit more fluid. So tracing those knees in some big circles. Using the strength of your arms to make these circles. And then go ahead and relax. We're going to bring those knees in towards each other. Arms are bent. Then go ahead and allow the knees to pull away from the chest, straightening the arms. Let those legs open out to the side. Bend at the elbows, pull the legs back in. Bring the knees into the chest, and let's make it a little bit more fluid. So we're still tracing some big circles with the knees, but now we're going in our opposite direction. And find some stillness. Let's go ahead and take both of our hands around the right shin. We're going to pull that right leg into the chest. Then let's go ahead and flex the right foot. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. Then to press the right knee forward. Now your first option is going to be to just lower the sole of the left foot down onto your mat and continue to press that right knee forward. The most important thing here is keeping this right foot flexed because that's going to protect the knee joint. So you're welcome to remain like this. If you would like, you can lift up that left leg and maybe take the hands and interlace them behind the left thigh or around the left shin. Remember, flexing the foot is key here, really pressing that right knee forward. And see if you can notice your entire spine is flat on your mat. Letting the breath make its way down to your belly. Keep flexing that right foot. And let's gently release. Crossing that right leg and just have those feet hovering off the mat. Knees are kind of close into the chest. Then we're going to flex the left foot and cross left ankle over the right knee. Now you have the same options on this side as you did on the other side. So you can lower the sole of the right foot down, or you can bring the right thigh a little closer in and then maybe interlace the hands behind the thigh or around the shin. And again, key thing here is the flexed left foot. And then notice everything from the back of the skull down through to the shoulders, the middle of the back, lower back, all the way down to the base of the spine is completely flat on the mat. So our whole back body is pressing down. And continue to press that left knee forward, holding the legs into the chest, breathing down to the belly. And let's go ahead and release. Soles of both feet flat on the mat, taking a couple of deep belly breaths. Maybe even resting the hands on the abdomen so that you can feel that gentle lift and lower of the belly. And let's windshield wiper our knees side to side, letting the hips lift up as you do so. And come on back to stillness. Letting those knees point up to the sky, breathing back down to the belly. Again, the eyes can be open or closed, whatever feels good for you. From here, let's go ahead and bring those knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins, giving them a really good squeeze, maybe even lifting up the head as well. Rocking a little side to side, a little front to back. Just please be mindful that you're not rolling directly on the spine. And go ahead and release the head back down onto the mat. We're going to keep those knees into the chest. And then go ahead and release the arms out to the sides so that you have a goalpost or a cactus-shaped arm. Really pressing the backs of the shoulder blades down into your mat. Pulling the knees a little closer into the chest. And then we're going to drop those knees off to the left side. Letting them release down to the earth. Really pressing that right shoulder blade down into the ground. Breathing slow and steady to your belly. And if you need to lessen the stretch, you could always straighten out those legs a little bit, moving them further from the body. And if you want to intensify the stretch, bring the knees a little closer, maybe even add the left hand on top of the right thigh. Really pressing that right shoulder blade down, breathing all the way to your belly. And notice how your breath feels a little bit different here in this twist. So see what it's like to breathe beyond the twist in the spine and continue to carry the breath down to the belly. Where do you have to add a little bit of extra effort to get that breath down? One more deep inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to let the right leg lift up, and then the left leg will follow. Pressing those shoulder blades down into the ground. Bring the knees into the chest. Really focus on the connection of the left shoulder blade. And then we're going to drop the knees off to the right side. Now this side should look pretty similar to the other. So if you straightened out the legs, do so on this side as well. And if you added an arm to that top side, do so here. With every breath in, the left shoulder blade roots a little bit further into the mat beneath you. And as you breathe out, feel those legs relaxing down to the sides. Carrying the breath down to the belly. One more deep inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to let the left leg lift up and the right leg will follow. Let's go ahead and reach our arms up around the shins. We're going to lift the head and the shoulders up off the mat and make a nice egg shape, holding everything in nice and tight. And let's begin to rock along the back. So remember, rolling on either side of the spine. So you're going to roll on one side and then the other. And you're going to continue with these rocks until you start to rock enough that you find yourself up in a seat on your mat. So once you find your way there, if you do have any props with you, this is going to be a great time to grab them out. So go ahead and find those props, maybe a pillow or a block, and place it beneath your seat, giving you just a little bit of added lift. And then the legs should be whatever's comfortable for you. So whether that be an easy seat, crisscross applesauce, legs out straight, maybe having them off to one side. And whatever you do, just really be mindful that the hips should be as level as you can get them. You could also come into kneeling and use a prop there as well. So legs are what's comfortable for you. Give yourself a little wiggle in the spine, side to side. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. Letting the shoulders drop down away from the ears. Crown of the head lifts up to the sky. And take some nice deep belly breaths. Letting the shoulders drop down towards the hips. Noticing the way the belly pulls into the back body with every breath out. And let's go ahead and inhale, sweep our arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands down to heart center. Another deep breath in. And exhale, let those shoulders relax a little bit more. Another inhale here. This time as we exhale, we'll reach those fingertips back up to the sky. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, reaching the crown of the head up nice and high. One more deep inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to reach the fingertips up and over to the left. Lowering just the left fingertips down to your ground. And continue to reach through the right hand. You want to think about spiraling the left shoulder forward slightly and pulling the right shoulder back a little bit. Really trying to open up the right side body and let the breath flow in between the ribs, creating as much space on that right side as you can. And then your gaze can be down at the left hand or maybe lifted up to the sky. Keep reaching through those right fingertips. One more deep breath in. And exhale, lift all the way back up, reaching left palm up to meet the right. Inhale, sit a little taller. Exhale, up and over to the right side. Go ahead and lower just right fingertips down on the ground. And keep reaching through that left hand. Spiral right shoulder forward, pull left shoulder back. Let the breath expand the left side body. Keep breathing down to the belly. And let the breath expand the sides. Reaching just a little further. And go ahead and reach that right palm up to meet the left. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twisting to the left, letting the arms drop down. Looking over the left shoulder. Right hand is on the outside of the left leg. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. One more time each side. Inhale to the center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. And exhale to the right. Inhale, reaching the arms back up. And exhale, hands down to the heart. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, a little pressure between the palms, and allow the eyes to close. Letting the shoulder blades squeeze back. Feel the shoulders continue to drop away from the ears. And let the breath come down to your belly. Gently blink the eyes back open. We're going to interlace the fingers. And then take some figure eights with those hands. So the palms are in contact. We're just wiggling those hands in a nice figure eight shape. And then go ahead and look down. We've got one thumb in front of the other. We're going to flip our grip. And again, make some nice figure eights with those hands. And give them a little shake. And release the hands down to the knees. With your next breath in, begin to squeeze the shoulder blades back, lifting the chest up, lifting the chin up. Let the gaze come on up to the sky. As you take your next breath out, pull the chin into the chest, pressing the space between the shoulder blades to the back of your mat. Inhale, lift the chest up, shoulders squeeze back. Exhale, rounding through the back body. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders squeeze back. Reaching that collarbone up high to the sky. Exhale, space between the shoulder blades presses to the back of your mat. And sit on up nice and tall to a neutral spine. Pulling the ribs in, sliding them down. Shoulders squeeze back just a little, and then feel them drop down. Hands rest on the thighs. Crown of the head lifts up, and the eyes will close. Come on back to your belly breath. Allowing the belly to be soft. So that with every inhale in, the belly can push forward. And as you breathe out, use the strength of the abdomen to pull the belly back in. Nice deep belly breaths. Taking them at your own pace. Continuing to brace those ribs in, but let the belly be soft. The eyes may be closed or open. And let's gently blink the eyes open. Go ahead and move that prop out of the way if you do have one. And you're going to find your way to a tabletop position. So we want to have hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Crown of the head presses forward, tailbone pushes back, a little bit of pressure down in those fingertips. And let's trace a big circle with our torso, going in one direction. And then reverse that circle. Come on back to stillness. Flip the fingertips to the sides of the mat and add in some little rocks of the weight left and right. Come on back to stillness. Flip those fingertips in so that the palms are face up, fingers are spread nice and wide. If you need something a little less intense, you can bring the backs of your hands to the tops of the thighs. Pressing the crown of the head forward, creating length in the spine wherever you are. And let's flip those fingertips back to the top of the mat, pawing the hands out a couple of times. And find some stillness. Tucking the toes under, pressing down through those palms, a little bit of a bend in the elbows. Notice that the elbow pits are pointing northwest and northeast. Reaching a little further through the crown of the head, chin pulls into the chest slightly. Ribs pull in, tailbone presses back, toes are still tucked. From here, we're going to push our hips back towards the heels. Really press down into those palms. Begin to lift the knees up, pulling those thighs into the chest. Really pressing down into those hands, and as you are ready, lift the hips all the way up and back for a down dog, creating as much length in the spine as you are able to. Maybe bending the knees a little, wiggling the hips. Do whatever you need to feel a little bit more at ease and to create more length in your back body. Really pressing down into the tips of the fingers, letting the breath make its way all the way up to the belly. And as you're in your down dog, focus your awareness on the exhale. So on pulling that belly into the back body. Let's begin to inhale. Shift our weight forward to a high plank. As we exhale, we're going to lower our knees down to the mat. Hug the elbows in. Pull the belly in tight. Lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Find the hands directly beneath the shoulders. Wrap the elbows in. Engage the glutes. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat. Open up the collarbone. We're going to lift the gaze. Really press down into those palms. And then peel the chest up off of the mat. Hugging the elbows in. Continuing to breathe down to the belly. And lower all the way back down, resting one cheek on your mat. Couple of deep belly breaths. Really press back down into those palms. Hug the elbows in, nose and forehead on the mat. Knees remain on the earth. Engage the abs, and then press on up. Tuck the toes and walk the knees back in. Returning to a tabletop. Press the hips back. Push into the palms. Lift the knees and reach the hips up to the sky. Shift the weight into those hands and tiptoe your feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Finding a little bend at the knees and letting the torso hang heavy for a fold. Maybe you'd like to grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Maybe you just want to be still for a moment. Do whatever feels good for you. See if you can bring your chin a little further into your chest, letting the crown of your head hang heavier to the earth. And we're going to release the arms, straighten the legs, reach the crown of the head forward, finding a nice flat back. Reaching through the spine. Fingers can be reaching to the ground or they can come to the shins, chin to the chest a little bit, and then soften at the knees and fold again. Bending at the knees, go ahead and roll on up, one vertebra at a time. Once you find your way up to standing, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Shift the weight forwards and backwards a couple of times. Let those palms and arms and hands just hang down. Lift the gaze up slightly. And feel your breath come down to the belly. Let's go ahead and inhale, sweep the arms up. As we exhale, we'll bring the hands down to the heart. Shifting the weight into the right leg, we're going to lift up the left thigh and then step the left leg back. Wiggling those left toes back and then ground the left heel down. Straighten the right leg and turn the right toes to face the same direction as the left toes. Grounding into the pinky toe sides of both feet. Let's bring the hands to the hips. Squeeze shoulder blades back, lifting up the chest. Soften at the knees. Then we're going to bring the torso down to the ground. Nice and slow. Letting the crown of the head hang heavy. Tailbone lifts up high to the sky. You have the option to keep the hands on the hips. You can release the hands down to the mat. Maybe you'd like to grab opposite elbows. Reach for the outsides of the feet. Really, whatever feels good for you. And feel free to keep as much of a bend in the knees as is comfortable for you. You're welcome to continue to stay here in stillness. Otherwise, bring the hands beneath the shoulders. We're going to heel toe those feet just a little further out and then pull the heels in. So we want our feet to be at a 45-degree angle. Now we're going to really bend into those knees. Walk the hands over to the right foot and then begin to sink those right hips back. Now you might find that you would like to make these movements with the torso lifted, and you're going to bend one leg and then shift your weight to the other side and bend the other leg. So this is one option, torso lifted, hands at the heart, maybe hands at the hips, and you're just rocking side to side. Now, if you would like, and it's comfortable for you, your hands might be down on the earth, and you're going to sink those hips down so that they're coming close to the heel of one foot, and then the opposite side foot will lift up. And the same thing, you will move side to side. So whether your hands are down on the earth, or if you're lifted up to the sky, just make some nice movements side to side. Taking your time. Keep breathing down to the belly. And we'll keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, straighten the legs, lifting the hips up to the sky, grounding into the pinky toe sides of both feet, bending at the knees, and roll on up one vertebra at a time. Go ahead and step on up to the top of your mat, feet right beneath hips, shoulders squeezing back. Take a couple shoulder rolls back. And a couple shoulder rolls forward. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the legs, hands to the shins, crown of the head presses forward. Exhale, fold. Pressing those hands down into the mat, step on back to a high plank. Drop the knees down. Walk those knees in. And then we're going to swing the feet around to the side and bring those heels up to the top of the mat. Now, if you do have a prop of any kind with you, go ahead and have that nearby, and we'll go ahead and roll down onto our backs. So finding your way onto your back. Let's go ahead and bring those knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around the shins, give them a good squeeze. Maybe a little wiggle side to side. And then we'll release that tailbone all the way down onto the mat. So everything from the tailbone to the crown of the head, or the back of the head rather, is going to be flat on your mat. Now we're going to take one hand in each knee. Allow the knees to separate to the sides. Flex the feet. And then kick the heels up to the sky. Now to start, you can place the hands behind the backs of the thighs, or you could reach up for the calves in your happy baby. But the most important thing here is the tailbone flat on the mat to start. So wherever you can hold, that allows you to keep that tailbone on the earth. Keep flexing those feet, breathing to the belly. And at this point, you now may reach up a little higher if you would like. And you can add in some little wiggles, bend and straighten one leg at a time. Whatever you would like. Have a little bit more fun with your happy baby pose. And as you are ready, you're going to release the feet down onto the earth. Now this is where we can take advantage of our nice little prop. So if you don't have a prop, no worries at all. So your first option is going to be have the torso flat on the mat, soles of the feet on the earth. Now let's go ahead and lift those hips up a little bit, tuck the tailbone under, and then lower it back down to the ground. So now we have the whole spine flat on the ground. Now if you do not have a prop with you, go ahead and come into this variation. You're going to have your knees rest on one another, and then you'll heel toe your feet to the edges of your mat. Then from there, you may rest your hands on your belly or out to the side with the palms face up. And then go ahead and close the eyes. Now another option is going to be, if you have a prop, you could bring that prop beneath the knees and then extend your legs out long onto the earth, and then you'll have a nice support behind the knees. You would let the toes flop to the sides, let the knees kind of open out to the sides as well. Another option, if you have a prop, is to take that prop, give it a little bit more of a wedge, bring it behind the lower back, bring those hips back down onto the mat, and then you can bring the soles of the feet to touch and allow those knees to fall out to the sides. And again, the hands may rest on the belly or out to the sides with the palms face up. So now whatever variation of your Savasana that you would like, please find that and then close the eyes. Reminding yourself that now is the time to completely let go. To allow any little places of tension in the body to begin to melt away. Every breath out, let your body relax just a little bit more into the support of the earth beneath you. Feeling that place where the back of your head is touching your mat. And then notice the muscles of the face relaxing. Imagine the eyebrows just melting as they let go. Feel the jaw softening, maybe even resting the tongue on the roof of the mouth. All those little muscles of the face relax. And begin to notice that little space that lies at the back of your neck. See if you feel any space of air coming beneath. Feel the backs of the shoulders pressing down into the ground, releasing into the support. And notice the arm, just letting go. Feel the elbows, the forearms, the wrists. And even notice the hands, all 10 little fingertips. Bring yourself back into the torso. Begin to notice the chest. Seeing if you feel any movement. Notice any rise and fall. And then invite your awareness down to your belly. Feel how the belly lifts up with every breath in. And notice how it relaxes. And let go, let's go as you breathe out. Beginning to feel the hips pressing down on the earth. And notice the thighs. Notice your knees. Notice the shins and the calves. Become aware of the ankles and of the feet. Notice the soles of the feet. And even begin to feel the toes. Allowing the entire body to be at ease. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some movement back into your body. And with your eyes still closed, go ahead and gently find your way onto whatever side you would like for a fetal position, allowing the earth to support you. And go ahead and use the strength of your arms and press yourself on up to a comfortable seat. Closing your eyes as you find your way there. If you do have a prop with you, you could prop up those hips again here. And you're going to sit up nice and tall. Let the shoulders relax down. Hands rest on the thighs or the knees. Eyes are closed. You can come on back to your breath. Next breath in, let's go ahead and inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll bring the hands down to heart center. Another deep breath in. And exhale out. Another inhale. Exhale, release. And our final breath together, this practice. Let's breathe in. And breathe out. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me. Oh, hello. I hope you enjoy this practice. And if you would like to get more classes from me, you can go ahead and send me a text. My number is 240-647-9285. And I'm sending out a weekly yoga practice every single week, as you would expect. And I'm always open to recommendations for future classes. And I would love to hear your feedback. And I hope you have a great one. See you soon. All right, bud. Here we go. Say bye-bye.